Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dan Munsey, the San Bernardino County Fire Protection District Fire Chief. I'm also here representing the California Metro Chiefs Association as the president. The California Metro Chiefs represent the 17 largest cities and counties in our nation, representing about 80% of our population. This year, San Bernardino County Fire was tasked by the California Fire Chiefs Association to continue to support and lead the efforts of fire loss as it relates to the fire insurance problem that's been developing in California. These efforts have been ongoing for almost 10 years, and we've had great leaders in the past, retired Fire Chief Frank Freevault and recently retired Fire Chief Dave Winokur. As both of these chiefs have moved on into different industries, they continue their efforts with ensuring that the fire service is prepared to meet new challenges in the future. But we recognize that we need to become even more amplified in our efforts and our voice to solve a very complex issue. The California Fire Chiefs Association stands with the California Metro Chiefs Association, the Fire Districts Association of California, the California League of City Fire Chiefs Section, the Volunteer Combination Association, the Tribal Fire Chiefs Association, and the Contract Counties Association. Many of those members stand in the background. I want to take nothing from LA County and the fires that are recently happening in their area. This event today has nothing to do with those fires. Our hearts go out to the communities that have lost. Our hearts go out to the firefighters that have worked so hard to combat the loss of the structures in their community. Our efforts today, though, are to continue the meaningful conversations and ensure that the fire service is doing everything within our power to ensure that the correct legislation is passed, to ensure that we're examining the fire codes, that we're ensuring that we have a robust and coordinated response to reduce fire loss. While these efforts have been going on for the last 10 years, we still have a lot of ground that we need to make up in the future. I'm going to introduce retired Fire Chief Dave Winokur, representing the California Fire Chiefs Association.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Winokur with the California Fire Chiefs Association. Since 1897, the association has served as the voice of the California Fire Service and acts as an organizing and coordinating body to ensure the efforts of our agencies are aligned with best practices and are standing on the shoulders of those who have gone before us. In this particular case, that being the case of reducing the loss of structures from wildfire and the associated impacts on the insurance industry and the stability of that industry, fire does not recognize municipal boundaries, and it's critically important that our members are operating within the best science, the best practices, in a coordinated way so we can achieve network effects so that all of our communities can benefit. While the insurance industry is separate and regulated outside of the fire service has a role to play as the insurance issues we are facing throughout California and the stability of those markets will not be improved as long as so many homes continue to burn. And the fire service is charged with the prevention and suppression of fire. And when we align our prevention efforts, pre-fire activities with the best science, and we share the activities we have undertaken with those insurance industry entities that model and price risk, we can assure that the work we are doing to prevent fires and reduce the loss of structures will be recognized in the pricing of that risk. We believe that is worthwhile and will benefit from the fire service's coordinated engagement in that space. I'll be followed by Chief Malloy, President-elect of the California Fire Chiefs Association.
Good afternoon. My name is Bernie Malloy. I'm the Fire Chief for Murrieta Fire and Rescue and the President-elect for California Fire Chiefs Association. The California Fire Chiefs Association represents fire departments all throughout the state of California, and we know that our primary stakeholder are the residents that we serve. We work every day to improve service to our residents, and over the past few years it's become evident that insurability is a problem that our residents are struggling with and something that Cal Chiefs is committed to trying to help our residents with. We're working primarily on two things in Cal Chiefs. The first is aligning our actual fire science with the fire code and municipal codes that fire departments can enforce, as well as the standards that insurance companies are holding our residents to. The next is that we would like to have communities be recognized for the active wildfire mitigation steps they're taking in their cities and municipalities, so that when we're modeling risk and we're assigning a value and cost to that risk, that it's based on actual information for what is happening within the communities and the work they're doing to protect their own. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Chris Nigg, who's the president of the California League of Cities Fire Chief Section.
Thank you, Chief Malloy. Good afternoon. My name is Chris Nigg. I am the City of Laverne Fire Chief, and as Chief Malloy mentioned, the current president of the California League of Cities Fire Chiefs. I'm here as the voice of the local municipality fire chiefs who serve our incorporated communities. I'm here to address much of the same commitment that you heard already here today. We remain resolute in ensuring our communities receive the state resources to provide for preparedness and early mitigation, accurate and timely information and intelligence, an opportunity to advocate for rapid and comprehensive recovery, while also contributing to conversations around policy decisions to come thereafter. We also remain resolute in ensuring that all of the communities that we serve have access to affordable and relevant fire insurance. Next, I'd like to introduce Chris Anthony, retired Chief Deputy Director of CAL FIRE, to talk about philanthropic and nonprofit efforts in this fight.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Anthony, retired CAL FIRE. There's 4 things that I really wanted to focus on post my CAL FIRE career. The first was returning good fire to the fire-adapted landscapes of California. The second was community wildfire preparedness and mitigation, protecting our communities from the threat of wildfire. The third is the policy and legislative framework that we need to have in place throughout California to be able to address the wildfire crisis. And the fourth is looking at new technologies that can be brought into this space to help the fire service advance the way that we currently do business. There's a number of philanthropic and nonprofit organizations that we are blessed to have in California that really help us achieve these goals. The first I'd like to point out is the Gordon and Betty Moore Foundation. The Gordon and Betty Moore Foundation has stood up a wildfire resilience initiative, and through that initiative has committed nearly $200 million to achieving wildfire resilience across 3 core areas. The first area is early fire interventions, which I'll talk more about in a minute. The second is interventions, pre-fire interventions at the community level, and the third is pre-fire interventions at the ecosystem level. The second nonprofit that ties to the Moore Foundation is a nonprofit called Earth Fire Alliance. Earth Fire Alliance seeks to deploy 52 low Earth orbit satellites for early wildfire detection, assessment, and monitoring at a global scale. Earth Fire Alliance seeks to achieve this through funders and other philanthropic organizations seeking to advance early detection, not only in California, but globally, with a 15 to 20 minute revisit rate on every single fire. This is currently being supported by organizations like the Moore Foundation, Google.org, the Minderoo Foundation, and other philanthropic organizations that choose to remain anonymous. The third nonprofit that I'd like to talk about is Mega Fire Action. Mega Fire Action is a nonprofit that has been stood up with the mission to end the mega fire crisis within a decade. They plan to do this through 4 specific goals. The first is advancing wildfire science and fire technology. The second is doubling the federal investment in wildfire science and technology innovation to promote resilient and healthy forests. The third is addressing those structural barriers to progress. And the fourth is forging a sustainable pathway to treat and make our ecosystems wildfire resilient. And I want to end with one last nonprofit organization, and that's the California Fire Safe Council. The California Fire Safe Council works to support communities across the state in wildfire preparedness and resiliency, and they work through other grassroots local fire safe councils, many of which may be in your communities, to really drive grassroots efforts in connecting with residents so that we are all a part of the solution down to each individual resident in the communities. And for those of you that may not know whether or not you're part of a local California Fire Safe Council, please contact the California Fire Safe Council to find out. These organizations exist to help communities at the community and grassroots level achieve resiliency. And I'm going to end with this. All of these organizations exist to wrap around the fire service and provide support to the fire service so that firefighters can be more successful combating the wildfire crisis in California. Thank you.
I want to thank you for your time today and helping us highlight these issues. As been demonstrated, the California Fire Service stands shoulder to shoulder, patch to patch, to solve a very complex problem. We've been working on this problem for 10 days, and it's very apparent from recent activities that we're nowhere near the finish line. We've demonstrated the partners that we have not only in the fire service but outside the fire service, with the philanthropic organizations, with the researchers, with the allied agencies, but there's one partner we did not mention, and that's the community. The best protection of your house is yourself. You maintaining your house, ensuring that you're improving it to modern fire construction, to ensure that you have the clearances that are designated by your local agency is imperative. And if I have a call of action, it would be that to the homeowners, is help our firefighters do their job. We cannot do this alone. Thank you for your time. PAO Prater, are you going to ask for questions?
Hello, my name is Christopher Prater, PIO with the San Bernardino County Fire District. Is there any questions that would like to be addressed?
A couple.
Yes, sir.
As you're meeting and going through ideas, things that are coming up in the future, is there any particular one or two that look like they're very actionable, something that can happen sooner or later, that looks like it's very doable?
I'll have Chief Winokur speak to that. One second. Chief Winokur.
So the question is what's most actionable, what's most doable? So the question here really is one of what is the objective? And if the objective is to protect homes and the lives and the communities that those homes form, then we need to focus on actions that reduce the vulnerabilities at the points of entry. Specifically, the creation of Zone Zero, that being the space within 5 feet of a structure, where the science is very clear that removing combustible material in its entirety from that space is highly correlated to reductions in structure loss. AB 3074 was passed by the legislator in 2020 that created Zone Zero as a legislative item, and we are pending the release of the regulations that will enact it. When those regulations are released and we have a statewide standard, we will be able to move very quickly because the point of execution is at the grassroots level. It's at the parcel, so that each resident in these fire-prone areas where their homes are likely to experience fire has agency to reduce that risk by carrying out their Zone Zero mitigations. And by empowering and enabling all of those residents, we open the door to moving very, very quickly in the way that any sort of centralized top-down project would not be able to be realized as rapidly.
And on the opposite side of that, what looks like the biggest obstacle, the hardest thing that you think needs to get done, but we couldn't get?
Zone Zero is the space within 5 feet of a structure, and it is the most efficacious of the mitigations that are available to us. In many ways, it's also the most difficult because now we are changing the sense of place. The vegetation and the greenery that is around a resident's home is part of how they have their sense of home and what is right to them, but it also represents the risk. So while in many ways it is the easiest, it is also the most difficult because we're now asking residents to change their sense of place and their sense of home.
Did we have any other questions? All right, well, thank you again for your time today. We know everybody is very, very busy. To highlight what Chief Munsey said, the single biggest contributing factor to all of this being successful is the community. Thank you very much.